Huwag na huwag kang a-absent sa school dahil wala kang baon. Mas pagbutihan mo pa ang pag-aaral mo para guminhawa tayo. Naniniwala ako, malayo ang mararating mo. Those were the words my late Nanay Linda, my lola, would always tell me. Here, I was raised by my grandmother along with my parents. I was the youngest among 5 siblings who was coined as ang huling pag-asa ng pamilya. We were residents of Makati City then, but a series of 35 ejectment cases forced us to relocate to Las Piñas City in 2005. Biruin nyo, 35 times kaming sapilitang pinaalis sa tirahan namin. Ganun kami kahirap noon, kaya di kami makabayad ng upa. They would even throw out our staff into the streets para lang mapilitan kaming umalis. Hiyang-hiya kami sa mga kapitbahay, lalo na't hindi lang isang beses nangyari yun. Hindi lang tirahan ang problema namin noon. There was even a time that our electricity was disconnected for 6 months straight. Tapos, nag-jumper na lang kami. Pati nga tubig nawawalan kami. Mahirap na nga walang kuryente, pero mas mahirap ang walang tubig. But no matter how hard life hits us, my family remained intact, strong, and happy. Sa school naman, my classmates would share their baon with me, and they would even contribute money so I could join our school field trips. They would always tell me, kulang at hindi masaya pag wala ka. Even my teachers who saw potential in me would help me by letting me sell their homemade products, polvoron, pastillas, sampalok, etc. All these experiences made me persevere to do well in my studies. When I graduated from 6th grade, I ranked 8th in the class. But when I graduated from high school, I ranked 3rd honorable mention, and I was awarded as Best in English and Best in Economics. In college, I was a university scholar and enjoyed 100% free tuition. I was also a working student para may pambili ako ng mga libro ko. With God's grace, I graduated as cum laude with a bachelor's degree in accountancy on April 23, 2010 in PICC. I remember very well, my parents were crying as they were putting the medal on me. Sabi ng mama ko, "Anak, maraming salamat sa pagsisipag mo sa pag-aaral. At kahit kailan, hindi namin inakalang makakatapa kami sa stage ng PICC." After passing the CPA board exam, I started my professional career as an audit associate in the auditing firm owned by my uncle. He was the one who influenced me in choosing accountancy. He told me, "Basta mag-accounting ka lang. May scholarship o wala, tutulungan kita hanggang makatapos." But because of certain family issues, I had to leave the firm with a heavy heart in 2013. After leaving the firm, I joined SM Save More in January of 2014. In May of that same year, I received a call from a college friend who was based in Dubai and in urgent need of an accountant. I was hesitant at first. Working abroad was never in my plan, and I couldn't imagine life away from my family. But it was an opportunity that was hard to ignore. So I left for Dubai on May 14 of that same year. Simple lang ang plano ko noon. Magtrabaho sa Dubai for 2 years just to save enough money so that we can invest in a business and then uuwi na to be with my family again. Pero malayo sa plano ko ang nangyari. 2 weeks pa lang ako sa Dubai, my beloved Nanay Linda died on May 30, 2014. I couldn't even go back home to pay my last respects to my beloved Lola. My finance manager told me, "You can always go back home, but there's no guarantee that you can come back to Dubai. It's like losing your grandmother and your job at the same time." That was my first heartbreak abroad. For 3 years, life in Dubai was pretty normal and smooth sailing. Until I received a text message telling me to immediately call my mother on March 1st, 2017, Ash Wednesday. When my mama answered, she was crying heavily and all I could hear was, "Jan, si Papa mo! Jan, si Papa mo! Comatose!" I learned that my father was found unconscious inside our bathroom. He had brain aneurysm and he was in a coma. I found myself in tears and left the office immediately. And I went straight to church. I was crying so hard I couldn't even pray properly. Iyak lang ako ng iyak. "Lord God, huwag niyo po kaming pababayaan." Ang bigat ng responsibilidad ko noon. Sabi ng mga kapatid ko, "Ikaw ang may kakayanang magbayad ng kung anong procedure ang gagawin kay Papa. Kaya ikaw ang magdedesisyon kung ooperahan si Papa o ano." Diyos ko po, tulungan niyo po ako. Hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin ko. I had to resort to getting a bank loan of 200,000 dirhams or 2.6 million pesos to save him, but I had to get it fast because my father's life depended on it. A bank agent who was a Filipino Muslim facilitated my application to hasten the approval of the loan. It's a good thing that I had some savings in my bank worth 300,000 pesos. This was instantly wiped out for the initial procedures and deposit for my father's admission to the hospital. I dreaded the thought of not having those savings. Ano na lang ang mangyayari sa papa ko kung wala nun? We finally decided to let the doctors operate on my father. It was a very invasive procedure because they had to open his skull to access the part of the brain that was affected. Habang naghihintay ng results ng operasyon, there were so many thoughts running through my mind then. Gusto kong umuwi para makita ko si Papa, pero hindi pwedeng iwanan ng trabaho ko, lalo na't may inutang akong malaking halaga. Pero paano yun? Baka hindi ko maabutang buhay si Papa. Nung finally natapos ang operasyon ni Papa at sinabing out of danger na siya, sobrang pasasalamat ko sa Diyos. Nagkaroon pa ng mga therapy session si Papa para bumalik ang kanyang motor and speech function. Although, hindi siya bumalik sa 100% normal level dahil mabagal na mag-isip at mabagal ang pagkilos niya, his memory was still okay. And the best part of it was that my father was alive and well. Praise God! What happened to my father is such a miracle. Talagang hindi niya kami pinabayaan. I know he was always there to take care of everything we needed to keep Papa alive. And I know that it was really God who healed my father. Nailigtas na si Papa, pero matapos ang ilang buwan, ako naman ang kailangan niyang iligtas. 2017 was a very difficult year for me. I was overwhelmed with all my financial obligations, the usual bills, the amortization for my house and car, my living expenses, my family's living expenses back home, and then the loan that I had to get for my father's operation and therapy. And to add to that, I couldn't even pass my driving test, which was a requirement for a job opportunity in Abu Dhabi. Because of all the pressure, and because it felt like nothing was going my way, I felt so hopeless and helpless, and I found myself falling into severe depression. On August 31st, 2017, I attempted suicide by taking all my maintenance meds and sleeping pills while drowning myself in a bathtub. Then, when I was about to slash my wrist, a churchmate suddenly called me. He made me realize how much pain I could cause my parents if I ended my life. I knew then that it was God who prodded my friend to call me so he could save me. After this suicide attempt, I made a decision to bounce back. I surrounded myself with God-fearing people. I attended and served at the Feast Dubai. I joined the dance ministry. I talked to our Filipino parish priest for counseling. I did things I love to do. I took the driving exam again and applied for a US tourist visa, both of which were granted by God in April 2018. Ibinangon uli ako ng Panginoon. This time, I was the one who received God's healing.